Hi, this is Sweet June. How's everybody doing today? I'm hoping everybody is having a blessed Monday. Nice sunny day up here in Michigan, but it's getting cold again. Had a couple of nice warm days. Now it's cold again. It's talking about snow at the end of the week. I'm over it. I'm over this cold weather up here. I wish it hurry up and warm up for good. That's Michigan for you. I want to be California bound. There's three states that I like. I like California, I like Florida, and I like Texas. I've been to Texas. Texas is a nice state. So those are three states in there, warm states. I ain't too cool with the cold states. Well, I want to talk about um, you guys. If you guys see my video, I did talking about Soncerae. Allegedly, I'm going to say allegedly because I don't know for sure. She passed away. They say she committed suicide. I don't know. I'm going to say allegedly because some people are saying that she's still alive. That's why I did the video because I don't know, And somebody came in the comment section and said it was the video. Jack Gully, I think it was, said that you know there was some people that were related to her said she was still alive. I've seen part of his video, his stream, but I haven't seen the whole thing. So I'd say that the jury is still out on that. I pray that she's still alive. I pray that she's not dead. Um, I really pray that she is still alive because that would be sad, that poor baby being without his mother. She's got a daughter. I know she's got a grown daughter, and she's got a little 2-year-old baby, a baby boy. So I'm praying that she's still alive so that baby doesn't have to be without his mother. So I was going to talk about bullying. Actually, I had it on my list. Um, I have like 4.5 pages of video topics, and that was one of my video topics that I had um, on my list. So this is the perfect opportunity for me to discuss that topic. Um, Apparently, allegedly, I actually was subscribed to Soncerae. I've been subscribed to. I think she's probably one of the first people that I subscribed to here on YouTube when I first started watching YouTube. I think she was probably one of the first people that I subscribed to. So I've been subscribed to Soncerae for quite a while. But here lately, over the past few months, I haven't really watched a lot of her content. Because I'm subscribed to a lot of people. But I just found out the other day that I was subscribed to over 800 people. I thought it was like a couple of hundred. I was looking at they were showing me, I was looking at my information. And it said I was subscribed to over 800 people. I'm like, wow, I didn't realize I subscribed to that many people. Because if I watch somebody's video and I like their content, I'll hit the subscribe button, and I like to support other people, you know. But I'm obviously, I don't have time to watch all those people. And there's some main people that I watch like all the time. I never miss their videos. But so I haven't watched her content in quite some time. I watched the last video that she did because they were saying that she's no longer with us. But before that, it had been a while since I watched her content, so I've kind of been out of the loop of what's really been going on with her. But they say that she's been allegedly been going through some online bullying, and they say that she was going back and forth with some people. Um, Allegedly going back and forth with some people, and she's been enduring some online bullying. And they say if she committed suicide, that might be the number one reason why she did. So um, I think if in fact if that's what she really did, um, I think it's really sad. I think it's really sad. And I know that a lot of teenagers, particularly a lot of teenagers, have to endure a lot of online bullying, and as a result, they wind up taking their own lives. And I will say this: when people think that they're getting away with something, when they bully people online, they hide behind a screen. They hide behind their computer screen or their phone, and a lot of times they don't have a profile picture or whatever, or they might, you don't have to put your own name. You can make up any name and put on there. So they hide behind a screen. They hide their identities behind a screen, and then they, bash people. They talk about people. They say horrible and terrible things to people. And then, they think that they're getting away with something. They think that they're getting away with something. But one person that you cannot hide anything from, and that's God. You can't hide anything from God. Okay. God, Jehovah God knows everything. And you can't hide anything from him. So when they hide behind these unknown pictures and things like that and identities, they think that they're getting away with something. And so they feel like they don't have to take accountability. If the person commits suicide or something like that, or goes into deep depression, um, behind what they're saying, they feel like they don't have to take accountability, because after all, they figure, well, they don't really know who I am, you know. And even if there is an identity or profile pic, it's the person still don't really know who they are, because they're behind a screen. But God knows who you are. And that's what people don't realize. God knows who you are. And so if that person commits suicide, if that person suffers from depression or anxiety, or they commit suicide because of this online bully has drove them to that point, that person's blood is on that the bully's hands. That bully is blood guilty. They're blood guilty. See, whether they realize that or not, they're blood guilty. If you bully someone and you bully them to the point to where you cause them to commit suicide, their blood is on your hands. You are going to be held accountable. You will have accountability. God's going to hold you accountable. He knows what you're doing. God knows what we're doing. He knows our thoughts. He knows our heart. He's the only one that can read our heart. No one on this planet Earth has the ability to read our heart. Only Jehovah God can read our heart. He knows what's going on. He knows the contents of our heart. He knows what's going on in our heart, and he knows what's going on in our mind. He knows our thoughts. See, he knows our thoughts, and out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. So he knows everything that's going on with us. Okay. So if you and a lot of people that are doing these things, they have hatred in their heart. They have hatred in their heart, because if they had they don't, I think it would be safe to say that they don't have a godly heart. They don't have God in their heart. And they have a hatred in their heart, because if they had God in their heart, then they wouldn't be doing these things. See, if they had a Bible trained conscience, or if they had God in their heart, they would not be doing these things. But they don't have God in their heart, and they have a window of evilness in their heart, and so they do these things. And God, Jehovah God, knows that. So they think that they don't have any accountability because they're hiding behind a screen. So they feel like if this person commits suicide, they're not responsible for it. Well, that's on them. They let it go that far. That's on them. And don't they don't take accountability. They feel like they don't have to. But you are. Even if the government or the FBI or whatever don't find out that you were behind it. God knows. He knows. You can't hide nothing from God. You can't don't even try. It don't even make sense to try. You can't hide nothing from God. He knows everything. He knows everything. He knows our thoughts. He knows everything that's going on with us. He knows what we do, what we say, the contents of our heart, what's in our heart. He is the only one that can read our heart. Nobody has the ability to read anybody's heart. It's people that you think that are, you might think that they're a bad person or whatever, but really, when it comes down to it, you don't really know that because you don't have the ability to read their heart. Only God can read their heart. Or you might think, or on the flip side, you might think someone's a good person because people can fake it till they make it. Some people pretend to be good, but they're really not. Some people pretend. Some people are fake. Some people are fake. They pretend to be nice. They pretend to be good. Um, but I've encountered people like that. I've encountered people that smiled in my face and they pretended to be nice and everything, and then they stabbed me right in the back. So we know there's a lot of people out there that are like that. They pretend that they're nice and good and kind, and then until they do something, they to stab you in the back, and then you realize, well, this person, not so good after all. So God knows. God knows what's going on. Either way, God knows what's going on with your heart. Or a person might appear to be a bad person, or you may think that they're a bad person because maybe you don't like their attitude. Maybe you don't feel like they have a good attitude, or whatever, or they don't smile enough, or whatever it is that you think might be going on with them. But deep down, that person could have a heart of gold. See, the only person knows that is Jehovah. He's the only one that knows that. So Jehovah knows that God. He knows everything. He knows everything. You can't hide anything from him. So these people that are doing this online bullying, they will be held accountable. And if you're doing it, you will be held accountable. You can think that you're going to get away with it, but at the end of the day, you're not going to get away with it. You're not going to get away with it. He is going to hold you accountable. The FBI might not find out, or the government might not find out, or your local police department may not find out, but God knows. Because the FBI don't know everything. They say the FBI got a file on everybody in the country. That's what I heard allegedly. They said the FBI has a file on everybody in the country. Particularly if you have a social media account. Everybody that's on here on YouTube, they know everything about you. They claim to have they got files on everybody in the whole country. And they just in case, I guess just in case something go down and you do something, or like you go out and you go rob a bunch of banks. And you go to different cities. Let's say you rob a bunch of banks and you go hit up different cities. And you go to a city, you rob that bank, and then you run and you go out of that city, go to another one and hit up another bank. Then you go out of that city, go to another city or a town, and you go hit up that bank. And you kind of go from city to city hitting up different banks. And they're trying to find out who you are. They can track you down. There's ways that they can track you down and find out exactly who you are because um, FBI files, whatever. If they pick up a fingerprint or whatever, any kind of clues that they have, they can use those clues to find out who you really are. because they claim to have FBI files on everybody, you know. So, but even with that being said, them having the information that they know on everybody, they still don't know everything. They still don't know everything. You know, they may not know exactly the verbatim what you're doing, but you know, if you're doing something online, they may not exactly know exactly that's what you're exactly. They can find out. They can find out, but they not know exactly at that moment that's what you're doing. But you know, your local police department is not gonna know what you're doing. But God knows what you're doing. See, you can't hide nothing from God. See, you can't hide nothing from Him. So whoever was doing all this bullying, and some of the people she knew, you know, that was doing it, they're going to be held accountable. Particularly if she did. I mean, I pray she didn't commit suicide, but if she did, these people will be held accountable. They're going to be held accountable. Her blood is going to be on their hands. They're going to be blood guilty. And then some people, I read some comments on some videos, and some people were saying that, you know, well, she was doing things too. You know, that's, I don't, to me, in my opinion, I don't, you know what? I don't even want to hear that. I don't even want to hear all that, because it's like when you say things like that, you're justifying it. When you say things like that, you're justifying it. You're justifying the bullying. You're basically saying that she deserved to be bullied. And how do you know that she wasn't trying to defend herself? She could have been trying to defend herself. So see, we don't know. The thing is the bottom line is that we don't know. If we wasn't there, we don't know what was going on. We don't know all the details of what was going on in her situation. Like I said, I haven't watched. And when I look over her videos, when I go on her channel, I look over her videos. She's basically talking about just general topics. You know, um, she does a lot of commentary, so she's just basically talking about stuff that she typically talks about on her channel. She's not, because I heard about this, I looked at her last video and I tried to pick up some clues as to, did she say anything about being depressed, or she didn't mention anything about being depressed, or she was talking about um uh I think it was something related to race. Her topic she was talking about was something, it was something related to race. And she didn't give off any clues as to whether she was depressed or whatever. She didn't say she was leaving YouTube or nothing like that. And this video she did a few days ago. I kind of studied her eyes because of the situation. I kind of studied her eyes a little bit, you know, because I do that. I can kind of read people's eyes. I got a little bit of discernment. I can kind of read people's eyes a little bit, and I studied her eyes a little bit, and um, I picked up some pain in her eyes, you know. But other than that, I didn't pick up on anything else other than that. She didn't say anything, you know. She basically was just focusing on the topic of what she was talking about. And her other videos are like that too. She hasn't really been given any clues that's, you know, like I'm depressed, or, you know, there's times I've come on here and I've, you know, told you guys that, you know, let you guys in on what I'm dealing with emotionally. If I'm depressed or having some anxiety, I pretty much let you guys know what's going on with me, you know. Um, but she, last, far as I know, I haven't looked at all of her videos over the past week or two, but far as I know, she's got general topics of what she typically talks about on her videos. So I didn't pick up any clues that she was going to even remotely do anything like that. And they say sometimes the people that actually commit suicide don't talk about it; they just do it, you know. Or but not even that. She didn't say she was depressed or nothing like that. She didn't say, well, I'm going through some depression, or nothing like that. She didn't say anything like that in the last video. So she didn't give any indications or nothing. You know, like I said, I seen a little pain in her eyes, but that's about it. You know, so if she was enduring, like I said, I don't know everything that was going on because I hadn't been watching her content a lot, but I noticed she was dealing with some online bullying. I googled her. I did Google her, and they said they had the announcement on there, that you know she had committed suicide. Um, but I did read something about she filed a police report on Minister Jap. I did read that. I read that on Google. That's what pulled up when I Googled it. That's what pulled up. That's one of the things that pulled up. Um, it said something about she filed a police report on Minister Jap. His real name is, well, I'm not gonna say what his real name is on here. I'm not gonna put his real name out there. But if you Google his name, I mean, if you Google Soncerae, that'll pop up, and it said that she had filed a police report on him. So I don't know what was going on with that situation. I don't know if he was stalking her or harassing her. I don't know. I don't know. Like I said, I'm not. I wasn't there. A lot of people aren't there. A lot of people are just speculating about the situation. They wasn't there. A lot of people say she was doing this, but it's all speculation. At the end of the day, it's all speculation. And at the end of the day, I don't want to hear it because it's like when people say those things, they're justifying it. They're justifying the bullying, and there is no justification for online bullying. It's not okay. It is not okay to bully anybody offline, online. And what bothers me is that there's a lot of children that commit suicide because of online. And people say, well, why don't they just get off the computer? Why don't they just get offline? Well, if YouTube is your livelihood and that's how you make your money, it's easier said than done. It's easier said than done just to tell somebody to get off. I recommend that. I highly recommend the people that are making a steady sort that YouTube is a steady source of income for them. I recommend that that they invest their money, maybe get into some other avenues of making money. Now, don't just have YouTube as your main source of income. Have some other streams of income coming in. Maybe invest your money, save some money. So just in case something go down and you have to leave YouTube or you got to take a long hiatus from YouTube, then you can still have enough income. That's what I recommend. Or something happens to YouTube because YouTube is flighty. We all know about that. But but if YouTube is your main source of income, like it is a lot of YouTubers, um, it's kind of that's easier said than done for them to just stop doing YouTube. You know, it's not that simple. If they get a lot of their income from YouTube, it's not that simple for them to just walk away from YouTube. People just need to stop bullying. Why should they have to walk away from their channel? No, what people need to do is they need to stop bullying. Okay? Stop with the online bullying because none of these people want it to be done to them. I bet you I'd be willing to bet my whole paycheck that none of these people want it done to them. If the tables were turned and people were doing it to them, I bet you they don't want it done to them and they wouldn't like it. So it's not okay. In bullying, bullying can go through so many different ranges. It can range from just a simple comment, um, just a simple bad remark, like name calling someone a name, or saying something negative about somebody, all the way to online stalking or threats, and um, trying to find out people's addresses and stuff like that. It can go to that extreme, and there's people that have to endure that on here. It's not okay. None of it is okay. None of it is okay. And so I just think that YouTube needs to do a better job at cracking down on those things. YouTube needs YouTube needs to do a better job at cracking down on these online bullies. I mean, if the people that are on YouTube that are doing those things, including these people that do these reaction videos, including them. If it's something positive, if not all of them, because some of them are positive reactors. If they're positive, that's great. But if they're on here bullying a particular YouTuber or bad mouthing a particular YouTuber, YouTube needs to shut the channel down. Plain and simple, shut them down. If they're bad mouthing, doing videos, bad mouthing a particular YouTuber, and they know who they are, they're consistently bad mouthing them. That is a form of bullying, and YouTube needs to shut them down. See, YouTube be so busy. YouTube is kind of greedy because they so busy thinking about the money, and then they pick and choose who they shut down. See, the people that come on here and they speak the truth. A lot of people that come on here and speak the truth, they want to shut them down. But then the people that are on here doing all this bullying, they don't shut them down. See, they're selective. They do selective censoring. They censor the people who they feel they want to censor. But the ones that they really need to censor and shut down, they don't do it. And it's because they're greedy. They think about the money. So the blood, some of the blood guilt lies on YouTube as well, Google as well, because they're allowing this. These channels should not be allowed to exist. Coming on here, bad mouthing YouTubers consistently on a consistent basis. They're consistently doing it. They need to shut them down. Just need to shut them down. YouTube they really need to do a better job of monitoring these people. I understand that because of coronavirus, they don't have a lot of staff on hand. But when all this is said and done, they need to get back on the job and get to doing. They have taken some measures, but they need to do a better job of what they're doing. Like if you do a video and someone comes in your comment section and they say something negative or threatening to you, they do have it where you can block. They do have a feature where, like, if somebody says something negative to me in my comment section, I can go and block that. I can block their comment. I can block them. Well, that's all well and good, but they need to start doing that. They need to start doing that as well, because some of the YouTubers, like the three mommies, the part of the Mamiana, the three mommies, the four mommies, they've had to endure a lot of bullying here, and it's not okay. And YouTube needs to do a better job of cracking down on those people that are doing this. Okay, because it's just not okay. It's not a loving thing to do. It's not loving. It is not okay. You don't know what people are going through. You don't know what people are going through. People say, well, they put it out there. But just because they put it out there, people put a lot of content out here on YouTube. When they put their life out there, so they put their life on here out there, so that gives you the right to bash them. That gives you the right to bully them. That gives you a right to bash. That doesn't give you the right just because they put themselves out here. Doesn't give anybody the right to bash them or to bully them. That is not okay. Everybody's on social media these days. Not everybody's on YouTube, but everybody's on social media. Just because someone is on YouTube, everybody know you can make money off of YouTube. And this is a lot of people's livelihood. This is how a lot of people make money. And it's not okay to come on here. And a lot of these people, they have great content. They have great content. And they shouldn't have to feel that they have to shut it down because of people coming at them, bullying them and bad mouthing them. And that's not okay. It is not okay. It is not okay. Everybody should have the right to come on here and to post content to put their content out here, to make money. Everybody should have the right to do that without having to endure threats, somebody threatening them or bad mouthing them and saying horrible things about them and making videos about them and talking about them and talking about their kids. And, people shouldn't have to deal with that stuff. That's just ridiculous. People trying to find out where they live. Every time they move, somebody trying to find out where they live and all that kind of stuff. People shouldn't have to endure that stuff. People should not have to deal with that. That's not okay. And YouTube needs to do a better job of cracking down. Okay, my son is going a little crazy. He's ready to go somewhere. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. But let me know in the comment section if you guys have heard more information about Soncerae. I know I got quite a few hits on that video. Thank the person that came in and gave me the little information on that video. Thank you very much. Just keep me posted. Let me know what's going on. I pray that she hasn't. I pray that maybe she's just taking a break from YouTube. And I pray that this really didn't happen. But if it did, it's sad. It's sad if she really did. Because I said, well, I don't know if it really, I don't know what to think because I don't know if it really happened or not. But if I find out it's really true, I'm going to be, even though I didn't know her personally, yeah, I'm going to be really sad. I'm going to really be really sad about it because it's not okay. It's not okay. If that's the reason why she did it, it's not okay. Because now that baby doesn't have a mother. You see how words, people say words don't hurt. Words do hurt. They do hurt. They do hurt. Words can cut like a knife. I mean, now, and, I mean, ultimately, yes, we do have to have a thick skin to be on YouTube. And I get that. Yes, you do have to have a thick skin to be on YouTube. But at the end of the day, everybody is human. And we don't know what people are going through out here. People are struggling and enduring things that you may not know nothing about. And that pertains to everything. That's people on the job. Even if you just meeting somebody at the store, you go to the store and you meet somebody, you don't never mistreat anybody. Always treat people with kindness because you don't know what people are going through. Even if you meet somebody in the store, that person could be going through a storm. They could have suicidal thoughts. And sometimes, do you know, just a kind word, if you say just a kind word to someone, that can change their whole situation. Words are powerful. Words hold a lot of power. I always try to say kind things to people. I always try to be kind to people. And I always try to say, even if I wasn't a Christian, even if I wasn't trying to be a Christian, I would still be kind because just saying a kind word to someone can make all the difference in their day or what's going on or their life. Sometimes just knowing somebody cares. Some people are walking around on this earth and they don't think that no one cares about them. But it's just saying a kind word to someone that might let them know. And they say, you never know, you know. But when you say evil things to people and hateful things, that's has the opposite effect. It can shatter someone's world. If they was thinking about the suicide and you say something bad to them, something horrible, it could literally drive them over the edge. It could actually make them go out and do it. It's not okay. It's not okay. Parents need to do a better job of teaching their children. I used to put the fear of God in mine. I used to put the fear of God in my children. I better not catch you going to school bullying. I'm going to put my foot, you know the rest. That's what I used to tell my sons. You better not even look like bullying someone. I used to threaten my sons because I had a zero tolerance for that. There was a zero tolerance. I had a zero tolerance. I went through that in school, and I was not going to be raising two bullies in my house. And so I had a zero tolerance. As a parent, I had a zero tolerance for it. And so I used to threaten my sons. I better not catch you bullying. And parents need to do a better job of cracking down on their children, and parents need to literally have a zero tolerance, and they need to do a better job of cracking down on their kids about bullying. But some of these parents are doing it themselves. Some of these people that do these reaction videos, I know that some of them got kids. The children are seeing you online talking about another YouTuber. What values does that send? What message does that send to the children? It lets them know that it's okay. They're sending a message to their children that it's okay for them to do that. When their children, some of these reactors have children. Yet their children, they think their children don't know what they're doing because they hide in their bedroom or whatever. Oh no, kids are a lot smarter than what you give them credit for. They have a lot more sense than what you give them. I used to work with little ones, and the little ones are smart. They're smart. They're very smart. And they have a lot more intelligence than what we give them credit for. They know exactly what you're doing. They think they can hide and not let the children know what they're doing. The children knows exactly what they're doing. And if they see their parent doing that, that sends a message to them that it's okay to go out there and talk about somebody, to badmouth someone, to put someone else down. That's the message that they're sending to their children, that this is okay. I led by example in my household. I didn't do it. I didn't sit up and talk about people. I didn't bully people. Okay. So I led by example. I didn't just tell my kids that it was not okay and I wouldn't tolerate it and then turn around and do it myself. I led by example. And so the parents, as a parent, you have to lead by example. You have to not do it yourself, online or otherwise. And these children are seeing their parents doing this online bullying, and they think it's okay to go to school and do it themselves. So they can't really say nothing to the kids because they're doing it. A lot of these parents are out here doing it themselves. Or they're sitting around talking about people in front of the kids. The children think it's okay. It sends the message to the children. Our children don't do what we say, they do what we do. They do what we do. And as a parent, if they see you doing it, then there's a message to them that it's okay for them to go out and do it. And it just creates this vicious cycle. Children are sensitive nowadays. Back when I was in school, we just endured it. I went through a bad case of bullying in junior high. I'll tell that story another time. I went through the same emotions that all the other children. I was depressed. I was depressed about it. I had anxiety. I didn't want to go to school, and sometimes I didn't go to school. I would skip. But suicide was the last thing on my mind. We just didn't think about that back in those days. Well, we didn't have social media back in those days either. We didn't have computers back in those days, and I probably didn't even know, too much about suicide. These children have more access to that information now. That's one of the problems. But we just didn't think about it. It just didn't cross our mind. Back in the day, we just endured it. I went through it, and I just endured it. You know, I remember it was a very difficult thing at the time for me to go through. I had a very difficult time enduring it, but I endured it. God got me through it. Okay. So, but these children nowadays, we were a lot stronger mentally back in the day. With these children nowadays, they're not as mentally strong. and they're not as strong as we were in my generation when we were coming up. These children are not as strong. They're mentally weaker, and so they can't endure it. They just can't mentally endure it. And so parents got to do a better job of cracking down, because guess what? They're going to start arresting the parents. When the other child commits suicide, they're going to start cracking down on the parents of the bully. Yeah, the parents are going to be held at a more of accountability. Well, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this thing up. Um, Let me know in the comments section any more information about what's going on with Soncerae. Let me know in the comments section what you think about bullying, online bullying. Do you think it? How do you feel about online bullying? Has it got out of hand? It's definitely got out of hand. What steps do you think Google need to take to crack down on it more? Have Have you yourself endured any online bullying, or at work, in the workplace, or your children had to endure? Whatever the situation is, hit me up in the sound off in the comment section. Let me know what you think either way. Okay, stay tuned. I got some more interesting video topics coming up. Peace and love. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, and make sure you hit the notification bell so every time I do a video, you'll be notified. Any new subscribers, any or new people watching my videos, please hit that subscribe button. Okay? I'll be coming back at you. Peace and love. This is Sweet Dude.